Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. And I look like I'm frozen. So I'm hoping that clears up. Yes, it did. Welcome. It is me, Danyell Carmelita, your favorite tarot reader and astrologer. Today we are talking about some political predictions. We're talking about the current vibe in the sky. There's an Aquarius full moon. There's Jupiter T squaring. I will talk about what that means in a minute. Yeah, but we have a lot going on, you guys. This week, the universe is throwing some serious astrological power moves our way. And trust me, you don't want to miss out on this. Today, I got the Jupiter and Mars, that mutable T square. I'm going to break that down. I'm going to teach you, if you don't know astrology, explain what it means. And it's a very tense T square, and it's involving Saturn and Venus. And you're probably feeling that already. And while we have that, this week we have this full moon in Aquarius, and it's going to light up the sky, maybe bring some changes when it comes to a collective or a group or your friends are being different or being unique. And then at the same time, Mercury is retrograding currently, and now it's going to go into the sign Leo. That switches things up. And then there's also going to be a Kazemi this week. But that is not all. That is not all that I have. I have political predictions, like I said earlier, and I'm going to tie it all in with the Democratic Convention and what that means for the Democratic Convention coming up, and how these cosmic shifts are going to play out in this world stage. Plus, I'm pulling tarot and I'm talking about horoscopes. So stay tuned, because we not only have the political predictions, we have some mystical guidance for you as well. So I got you covered. So grab a tea, a coffee. I have my flavored water lemon here, and watch me break down also the current events and decode the stars, so we can all know what that means for us. Yeah, so you guys, also, I want you to know that I got some free stuff down below in the link down below. Don't forget also to subscribe. That helps me. But the free stuff, if you're interested in that, I have, if you want to learn how to read tarot, I got a tool on that. If you want a free reading, I got an opportunity for you to have a free reading. So go ahead and check down all the links down below. If I don't have the links down, just go to my website. It's all on my website. It's easy to find. That link is definitely down below. And what else do I have? Oh, join my newsletter, you guys. Please join my newsletter, because that really helps me keep in touch with you. Of course, I want you to subscribe, like, and do your due diligence. Thumbs up this video. That helps me out. That's you tipping me, or just if you really like astrology and you really like tarot, you really love political predictions, go ahead and thumbs up the video. And then also, yeah, so my newsletter, it helps me keep in touch with you. So in case they kick me out, in case something happens with the internet, not the internet, but no, not our internet, but if something happens with YouTube, then it'll help me find you. You guys, I did have other social media platforms. I mean, I still have them, but I'm really focusing on YouTube. I feel like I need to narrow it down and just focus on one thing and get better at this platform, because I actually love YouTube. I can talk for a long time and give a lot of energy to this one platform. So yes, so please do your due diligence as a viewer. So let's get into everything, okay? Let's talk about the current events. Before that, let me turn on my air. Feels good already. I might turn it up too high. Well, hold on. Let's see. I'm sitting right next to it. I know you guys probably can't hear that, especially if my mic is working. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, let's get into the current events, shall we? Okay. So let's bring up to the stage our news, shall we? Okay. Let me see. I'm trying to get better at this. Okay. I'm getting better. I got an agenda. I got my layout here, my notes. I'm just getting better. Let me clear my desktop though, because that confuses me when I have different windows. I should have did that before I started, but it is what it is. I'm starting. Okay. Now let's talk about the first current event. We got the UK. It had riots over immigration, and this is what we have. Let me make sure you guys can see it. Too many windows. Okay, hold up. Wait a minute. There we go. Okay, I got my notes and I want to make sure you guys see it. So here we go. We have rioters attack hotels used to house asylum seekers amid worst UK disorder in years. Now, I want you to understand, first of all, the leading story. First, let me start reading this article, okay? Rioters set fire and broke into hotels used to shelter asylum seekers in northern England on Sunday as the country grapples with the worst social unrest it has seen in years. The violence was triggered by a stabbing of 3 young girls in Southport, Northwest England earlier in this week. Shows protesters on Sunday vandalizing and setting ablaze 2 holiday inns in northern England, one in Tamworth, which has previously been criticized by a local politician for housing asylum seekers, and another in Rotherham. I'm not from UK. I'm from America, so apologies if I'm saying the locations wrong or mispronouncing anything. But people in this country have a right to be safe, and yet we've seen Muslim communities targeted, attacks on mosques, other minority communities singled out, Nazi salutes in the street, attacks on the police. Mind you, this is from CNN. Okay, just so you guys can know where this article is from. And far-right thuggery is what they're saying. A violent arrest is the worst seen in a riot. So if we go to the article where they talk about the stabbing of the 3 girls, they basically talk about there were 3 girls who were stabbed to death, and 8 others were injured in a knife attack in Southport. And this incident caused this riot. But let me talk about this incident because this is important too. Let me see if I press this, will it show it? Okay. Yes. So this incident here caused a problem. Can you guys see it? Yes, you can. Okay. This incident here caused a problem with this riots. Okay. 8 others were injured in a knife attack in Southport, in one of the worst assaults against children in the country in decades. The attack took place at a Taylor Swift themed, remember I said Taylor Swift themed event at a dance school in seaside town in Northwest England, sparking disbelief over why would anyone target children having fun during a summer holiday. The suspect was arrested, but there was no motive. This is written, something's talking. This was written July 31st. So there could be something that's changed, okay? Said the suspect was from Banks, originally from Cardiff in Wales. Says the suspect was armed with a knife when he walked into the school in Southport, but gave no other details on him or his apparent motive, other than to say the attack was not being treated as a terror related. So people, the streets are saying, in the UK, darling, okay, that the immigrants are the one causing these attacks here, and they were like, we're not having it, okay? So now let's jump over to astrology, shall we? Let me see. Let me see. Should I show the chart? No, okay, because that's too many windows. I'm just going to explain to you what the chart has, okay? And okay, let me see. Let me share the chart. Let me not be lazy. That is what the silence here. The silence is me saying, okay, come on, Danyell, you can do this. You can multi-window task, okay? So let's go on over to this date. And I think this is the 31st, okay? So we're going to go over to July 31st. And when we go to July 31st, what we will see is that Mars is starting to conjunct Gemini. And this is part of this T-square, which we are going to. This T-square, y'all, is a doozy, but we'll get into it. And I just want you to understand what Gemini represents. There's a Gemini moon happening, so there's emotions involving this topic, but Gemini represents schools, it represents early education, it represents the youth. The focus on the youth and learning environments. And where did this stabbing happen? It happened at a school event, okay? Now, the sun in Leo also represents children. And then where are they having a social event? The Venus and Leo also representing children. So the children are having this very social event in the sign Leo. The people are gathered. The main things of, and I've discussed this several times, when we have the sun in Leo and when we have planets in Leo, there's a lot of focus on children, good and bad. Okay. Mars is also the planet that will represent sharp objects. And Mars is in the sign with Mars represents sharp objects, it represents knives, it represents stabbing, it represents blood. Mars is conjunct Jupiter, which makes everything bigger than ever. And if you hear it's the biggest ever killing event, it's the biggest ever response to event. So that is that Jupiter, okay? Jupiter and Gemini is going to amplify and expand things. And the conjunctions are strong, whether good or bad. Okay, strong. I mean, a conjunction, I'm always like, because, you know, when things are trining, and that's what the relationships of the, when the planets make a relationship with another planet, there are different aspects, and they're called conjunctions, and they're called trines, and they're called squares, quincunx. Okay, so you get, they have different names. Now, when you have a conjunction, is good or bad? I kind of don't like conjunctions because you don't know what you're in for. But what you do know is that they're strong. Okay. So this is going to impact a community because Gemini also represents a community. It's going to be uncertainty. There's going to be media amplified with Jupiter and Gemini. So the stories on this is going to get bigger, and there's going to be an impact on the youth. Okay. Now, Venus, at the same time that Venus in Leo was squaring Uranus in Taurus. And this is where it gets sad, right? Because the socializing event is going to have some unexpected events happening because that's what Uranus represents. So you had social and public expressions of joy, a focus on enjoyment and music, right? Taylor Swift also, just a side note, Taylor Swift always has something with the Venus and Leo, especially when it's retrograding. So it's interesting that she has this Venus and Leo and something is still happening to her. I need to look at her chart, or when she was born, maybe Venus was retrograding before she was born or right before she was born. But there's a relation there, or there's something with Venus and Leo with her all the time. If you look at when she launches projects and they are successful, it's relating to Venus and Leo, but retrograding. Anyway, Venus is about socializing and parties, in Leo with children, right? So Uranus is disrupting and disrupting stability. What we deem stable, now there is chaos and disruption. There's a surprise event. There's tension with the surprise event. Uranus and Taurus represents the challenge to stability and security. The square leads to unpredictable emotions and reactions. And then you have that Venus and Leo, the socializing and harmony and enjoying that Taylor Swift. And all of a sudden there is a clash, a sudden upheaval, a sudden unexpected change. Well, that is what we have with Uranus. Now, and Venus, it just, all of it makes sense, you know. Now Neptune in the sign Pisces here, and it's at 29 degrees. That's a crucial degree. Is also retrograding. That was also quincunx, the party. Quincunx means it's not positive either, and it's usually about one. It has to be a close degree, but I find that this is close enough. Okay. But it makes things very uncomfortable. Neptune and Pisces often brings unresolved emotional matters to the surface. So there's hidden tensions, and you can have that with the people who are like, it's the immigrants. You know what I mean? But also there is some uncomfortable endings and unexpected tragedy happening here. Also some chaos and some confusion. Neptune is going to bring some confusion. Pisces does represents death, physical death and endings. So you have that. And now there is an uncomfortable event because there is the cause is a death. So that just makes so much sense there. Now, when you move it to the fourth, because I think that's when the protests started happening, or maybe it happened right after. I don't know. The news started to spread. I just want you guys to remember we still have Pluto in the sign Aquarius. Is at 0 degrees. It's retrograding. Zero degrees is also a potent degree because it's the pure energy. So anytime there is a revolution and people are fighting for the people, you know, regardless if you agree with them or not, but there is a social cause here. That's Pluto in the sign Aquarius trying to transform the system. But again, with this, you're going to have some unexpected disruptions. You're going to have the clash between the desire for harmony, because you got that Venus and Leo, and the intense and sometimes disruptive energy from Pluto and Aquarius. Saturn is also in the sign Pisces, and this could be a challenge with the immigrations. The fact that currently, right now, in other countries, there's an immigrant problem. There is this invisible border. People are acting like we don't have borders in our country. I'm speaking as American, but it's happening in other countries, and that's what that Pisces. The Pisces gives the delusion like it's watered down, it's not there, it's invisible, so there's no border. And Saturn is all about the border, so invisible borders not happening there. So this can bring the increased awareness to immigrant issues, but well, it has already. So that is what we have with that one. And now let me see if I can bring back my, oh gosh, okay, wait, hold on. Here we go. I'm like an old person. Yes, there we go. Okay, so let's bring back our articles and let's see what we have for the next story. And we have Mr. Noah Lyles. Okay, Mr. Noah Lyles is what to know about COVID at the Olympics after track star Noah Lyles tests positive. Okay, so, and mind you, I'm going to talk about the politics. I'm going to talk about our weekly transits, and I'm going to talk about our horoscopes. I'm just talking about the current events and how it relates to astrology. This is what I enjoy doing. Let me know if you like this segment. Anyway, so we have Noah Lyles. This is from the Olympics. I got a few things about the Olympics here. Mind you, COVID started with the Saturn and Pluto conjunction in Capricorn, but within minutes, this track star, he's running. Mind you, if you saw this race, I saw this race, and if you're not from America, you're probably like, who cares? But he was just like so amped. He was so pumped. He thinks he's number one, right? And I just discussed this last week, and I talked about, wow, the Leo energy. Because I thought of him when I was explaining this, the proud ego and running around like, yeah, I'm number one and I'm on the stage and everyone look at me. Well, okay. Well, that hit the fan real quick because I think he got second place. So the ego got bruised because he thinks he should get one. Maybe he got third place. I'm not sure. But Lau is the latest athlete to test positive for COVID-19 at the Olympic Games. Yeah, and he won bronze, so he won third. Oh wait, within minutes, the track star was being pushed from the stadium in a wheelchair in a very discomfort following his bronze medal winning performance. Okay. Interesting. Talk about that ego. Okay, so what do we have here? And let me bring it back to what we have. Let me go back to myself. Okay. I wish I can have another window. Okay, but you know what? I'm just going to explain. Mercury's retrograding in the sign Virgo and is conjunct. No, I got to show it. I got to show it for all you people. You people. What does that mean? For everyone, and apologies if you are listening to this via podcast, I will explain what we are looking at. And the date on this is the 9th. So I'm going to take this to the 9th here. The day of this article. Okay. And I'm not sure the exact event, but I'm assuming it's when the article is written. So Mercury is retrograding in a sign of Virgo. It's conjunct that Venus in a sign Virgo. Okay. So when we have Mercury retrograding in Virgo, we're revisiting and reassessing some information, right? Anytime, but there's misinformation. Okay. These are nice words for me saying lies. Virgo is also, I'm going to talk about your health. Venus is in health. Virgo is in health. This is a social event that people are attending, and we have health. And now there is announcement after he lost about his health. Okay, so let's go back and talk about the event. Oh, you know what? We found out he had COVID. And in Virgo, this can mean the details related the race, COVID-19 protocols could have been discussed. All that was discussed. Venus in Virgo is about values and fairness and focus on health. And yeah, And you have that with this Mercury conjunct this Venus here. Now, Mercury also can, there could be, when Mercury is retrograding, there could be some misunderstandings. Information could get mixed up. A message is not conveyed the way it's supposed to be intended to be conveyed. Mercury retrograde can also lead to situations where the truth is not fully represented, either because there's incomplete information, poor communication, or errors in judgment. Mercury retrograde isn't directly the cause of the lie. The confusion maybe and uncertainty it can bring, uncertainty it brings can create an environment where deception can be easily taking place. So, a part of me thinks that he's lying. I'm going to pull a tarot card. We're going to let the tarot card speak. I feel like the ego got bruised and he did not like his pride. And he said he had COVID because before the race, he was doing the most. He was jumping up and down. And we're talking about now from the Olympics. And anyway, also the sun is in a sign Leo and the sun in a sign Leo. Again, remember I talked about that last week. That sun in a sign Leo is your pride, and individuals with these feeling this Leo energy could feel very arrogant and very proud, and they don't like that when the ego is stumped down in third place. May have difficulty handling a loss. Okay, very strong ego. So let me pull a tarot card on Mr. What is his name actually? Let me find out his name. Hold on. No, okay. Let me find out. I'm going back to the article here. His name is Noah Laus. I've been saying his name wrong this whole time. Noah Laus. No disrespect, Mr. Noah. But yes. Okay. So let me pull a card for him because I think he's lying. But let's see what the cards say. The cards I have is the Ten of Cups. This represents blissfulness and happiness. So maybe he's not lying. Maybe he is just content with the. No, my gut's saying he's lying, you guys. I think he's happy that the lie is told, okay? But the Ten of Cups is usually blissfulness and happiness. There's options here. You have this rainbow here. Plenty of options to be deceitful is what I say, but there's emotions involved here whenever you have the cups. But this is usually a positive card. So he is happy. However, my intuition is saying that there's some lies. I'm going to revisit. Let me see if there's a clarity. I'm going to pull a clarified card, okay? We're just going to pull the one on the bottom of the deck. We're going to see what the bottom of the deck and it's the Five of Pentacles. See, this is what I'm saying. I feel like he is like, yay, there's a celebration. It's all about me. And maybe that's what this card represents. But there's lies and there's lacking. And he feels like he's lacking if he's not number one. This is my personal opinion, but to each his own. I'm not saying he didn't have COVID. Let me get my words straight. I want to make sure. I'm not saying he didn't have COVID, but Okay, moving on. Next story. Okay, now we have here the Olympics boxing gender testing controversy explained. Okay, now 2 female boxers were disqualified from the 2023 World Championship after being judged to have failed gender eligibility tests. They were cleared to fight in the Olympic Games in Paris, but they were not cleared to fight in the World Championship, right? And Paris has been very interesting with these genders. Just everyone just be aware. This is okay. I gotta look at Paris's chart, okay? But it sparked online outrage from conservatives and anti-LGBT and commentators and people who are for LGBTQ plus. Okay. Now the DNA test results showed that the 2 athletes have both XY chromosomes, but the results were never published. Very interesting when Mercury retrogrades that things start to come alive, right? The lies start lying or they come back, the stories come back up. In most cases, just so you know, because I forgot, females have XX chromosome. Males have XY, and they tested for XY. Okay. Now, political outrage surrounded the 2 women competing in a boxing at Paris. You guys, if you saw this fight, like one of the boxers, who is the XY chromosome, socked the XX chromosome person, and the XX chromosome person was like, I've never been hit like this before in my life. Okay. So that is what you have. But a lot of people are like, no, it's not fair. They identify as women. Okay. Both boxers have long been competing as women, and neither athlete identify as transgender. But do remember, they were not allowed to fight at another championship because they did not test positive. The two athletes have XY chromosomes, citing it is reason to be disqualified for the world championship. However, the test results were never published, and Khalif has never disclosed her biological markers, calling the decision a big conspiracy. If I had editing, I would zoom in on my face. Now there's this thing called DSD, stands for difference in sexual development. Some people are naturally born with this. I think they're born with both parts, and then they have to decide which one do I want to be. I think they're trying to insinuate this is the case. I haven't seen that in writing officially, but I think that's what they're trying to say, because they've always been always been associated, no, wait, always been identified as females. However, that could just be an essential, like someone could just be not clearing that up because we have this Mercury retrograde situation. Anyway, but that is what we have going on. So let's go to the sky. Let's check the stars out and see what does the star have to say regarding this, because I would think that, okay, let me just get to it. Okay. And then I'll explain what's going on here. So we go back to the stars. We'll see what the skies are saying. And this date is happening on the 8th of August. Okay. And this is still the Olympics. A lot of drama happening on Olympics. And again, we have this Mercury. Mercury hasn't officially retrograde in the sign Leo. Okay. So Noah, did I say his name right? He was retrograding. Okay. But now it has not retrograde yet. This is the pre-shadow phase. So we definitely felt some energy over here in LA. Okay. The streets and the communities, they were blocked up. People were driving crazy, all this stuff. Anyway, so now, but it's in the sign Virgo and we're still feeling it, but it's not fully in the retrograde. But there is a pre-shadow phase retrograde, right? Now, you have the attention to health. You have the attention of the focus on rules and ethics, because Virgo wants to follow the rules. Okay. Now, Venus is like, let's be fair. Let's follow the rules and be fair. What are the misunderstandings? Let's revisit this. Okay. Now, Leo is concerned with how individuals are perceived in the public as well, especially regarding their identity. Meaning, is she a female? Is she a male? What is her self expression? Okay. Now, Mars and Jupiter still over here causing a mess. Okay, that is boxing to its fullest. So the story of these boxing fighters is really expanded upon. Mars is totally a boxer. You know, a lot of people with strong Mars Aries placements are huge boxers, but competition boxing focus on duality and choices. Gemini is all about the dual. You know, like I have a choice for my identity. That also represents that. And Jupiter is going to expand all that and focus on the debates of it and the conflict of that. Okay. Potential for conflict and polarization. The dual nature of Gemini may lead to polarization of opinions, making it difficult to find a common ground because a lot of people were arguing over this. Now, Venus is also in the sign Leo, and Leo does represents the athletes, right? And Venus is people going to celebrate and watch these athletes. Now, are you entertained? That is Venus and Leo. Okay. Are you not entertained? That's the saying, I think, right? Now, Venus is also squaring Uranus here. And Uranus is also being very different and out of the box and not in the norm. So Venus is focused on his pride, is focused on that female boxer. And Uranus is like, let's break the norms. Okay. Uranus introduces a radical shift in how society views traditional concepts of gender, identity, and biology. Okay. So, but it's squaring. Squaring is no bueno. Okay. So there is challenges. So there's challenges of sexual freedom. There's tension between the traditional and progressive views. There's triangles. situations gone wrong, usually when you have this aspect. Scientific disharmony, sudden shifts in public opinion and policies. Venus in is the policy. Venus wants to be fair, and all of a sudden the policies are, why are you trying to change them? Uranus in Taurus indeed is associated with the significant developments and disruptions in areas related to any scientific things. Okay. So that's why this aspect is more important than others. Okay. So that is what we have with that. Very interesting with that story. Quickly, I want to talk about the Water Olympics also happening. A lot of stuff happened with this, the Olympics. Is this still going on? My kids have to tell me about it. So, yeah, but a lot of things happen with this Olympics. So let's get to the water, okay? Now, Paris Olympics, understanding the issue with serene water quality. Okay. The first serene, I don't know if I'm saying the place right, but it's where that water event was happening, was postponed on Tuesday due to ongoing concerns about water pollution. Swimming has been off limits in Paris in this river for more than a century. So with the Olympic swimmers events on tap for the river, the city poured $1.4 billion to try to clean it up. Talk about tax money, okay? And this water is so dirty. Is there more pictures of it? Let me see if there's more down there. The water is so dirty, you guys. Anyway, the water quality test in June revealed unsafe levels of E. coli bacteria. That is poop, human poop, and animal poop, right? So we have that, but in the end, all the swimmers did swim in the water. Okay. Now I just wanted to explain to you, what does that mean for us? Why am I explaining this? I want us to understand that Saturn in Pisces, Neptune in Pisces is major water themes. Okay. So Saturn in Pisces is the fear of water. That is currently what we have in the sky at 29 degrees. No, Saturn's not at 29 degrees, but Neptune is. But the fear of water, the restrictions of water, Neptune in Pisces is going to cause the chaos, the delusion of the water. Okay. So the leaders were saying, no, it's clean. It could pass the test. Now, that is a lie, Neptune and Pisces. Why are we lying? Okay, so false promises with the water. And water is just, Pisces energy is just, people could be dying. They can get sick. And that is very Saturn and Pisces. Okay. Leaders were saying they would go in the water. That was a fraud. That was an act. They were pretending. That is all Neptune and Pisces. And this is going to continue to affect us because water things are going to be really big. If you haven't noticed, a lot of water themes going on. What's going on? Wake up. It's connected to spirituality, the Pisces energy, connected to sexuality, not like your gender, but the act of, Speaking of, we'll talk about Kanye in a minute because it's also about addictions. But let's talk about the stock market. Let me get on. Let me talk about the stock market. Let's bring this up to the table. Oh. Hold up. Wait a minute. Okay, so the stock market here. Dow tumbles 1,000 points. S&P 500 posts worst day since 2022 in global market sell off. Last updates. Okay, so the stocks went down really, really bad. Okay, it was the worst since 2022. Japan stock market posted it. It was the worst drop since Wall Street, back since Monday. Monday in 1987. Other global markets were severely affected. Stocks, let me just tell you, represents Gemini. It represents Leo energy. If you have any fifth house placements, this affected you. If you have any of that in third house placements, this affected you in a big way. If you have any second house placement, this affected you. Mostly my Cancers, my Taurus, my Leo risings, all affected you as well. Mercury was retrograding. Actually, now I do want to pull this up, okay? Mercury was retrograding. Hold on. Am I getting better? Am I getting better? Okay. I'm putting up the screen for the sky, okay? Because I want you guys to see what this looks like. What date is this? This is on the 4th. Okay. So let me just explain to you guys that This happened, let me see when it happened, night on the 4th. A lot of people woke up the next morning on the 5th, was like, where's my money? Okay. We actually saw it in real life happen with my husband. Okay. We saw it happening in real time. Now, let me see, 12 p.m. Let me go to the hours so you can see it happening. Once Mercury hit retrograde, you guys, literally when it hit retrograde, I think it happened like around 10 or 11. There it goes. See right here. Bam. Mercury is sitting here. Now, if we just go to the next, bam, it hit 4 degrees so fast and it was retrograding, right? So now, Mercury represents trade and commerce. Now, Venus is also sitting there hugging Mercury, okay? And Venus is what you naturally attract. And now Mercury and Venus, now Mercury is about trade and commerce, and Venus is what you naturally attract. Venus is about your what you value, your finances. It also impacts the market uncertainty. This conjunction could suggest some confusion in the financial markets, or overreaction to markets and the market data. The conjunction might exuberate market volatility with sharp fluctuations in the stock prices as investors react to perceived risk and uncertainties. Now, that earlier that day, we had a new moon in Leo. Leo is all about gambling, okay? And my husband says that investing in stocks is a gamble. So Leo placements represent the stocks, right? So there's intense emotions involving this new beginning, a new cycle. It cleared out a lot of people's bank accounts, okay? Cleared out the bank accounts. People who are doing long-term stocks, I guess you're fine. People are doing short term, you lost it all. Okay. It's saying it's a new cycle with this new moon. Okay. Like, let's wipe it out. New cycle. There was a lot of internal reflection, a lot of heightened sensitivity, and there was difficulty of moving on. I'll tell you that right now, because that Leo is like, I'm stubborn. I'm not trying to move on. Okay. That was the emotions of it. Now, we had Mars and Gemini, because Gemini also represents the trade too. And Mars is sitting over there close to Jupiter. You guys, Mars conjunct Jupiter is hitting a lot of people in different areas. Okay. All in the streets. Okay. So the Mars, and remember, we'll talk about this T square in a minute. Okay. Because Venus is moseying on up. Anyway, I'll explain what that is. But Mars and Gemini is getting close. So we're feeling it already. But there's action, aggressions, there's impact on the market. And then the Jupiter is going to make this bigger than ever. Okay. Increase market volatility, speculated risk. Okay. The T square that's going to happen is about some challenges, okay? And some delays and some setbacks. Venus is sitting there, and it's all about your finances, what you naturally attract, and it wants to be practical and it wants to be efficient. But then we got this problem here with this wants to blow up everything, okay? So we have some quick changes. That's what Gemini represents. It's about, oh, let's change it real quick. Let's change it real fast. And that is what we happen with the market, okay? So I think it was, I wanted to talk about Kanye, and then we'll talk about politics, okay, after this story. So let's talk about Kanye West. Now, Kanye West is accused of having nitrous oxide addiction, okay? Ye, formerly known as Kanye. Let me pull up the article so you guys can see it. Let's pull up this all. Okay, we're going to talk about the Kanye addiction. Now, let's pray for Kanye. Some people are like, why are we praying for Kanye? This is on gossip.com. Kanye West accused of having nitrous oxide addiction amid rapper losing lawyer who's withdrawing his representation. So now, I heard this in another article, and I couldn't find it. I think it was probably on YouTube. But Kanye, formerly known as Kanye West, is facing some serious allegations of substance abuse. The allegations come amid after his lawyer says, I want to withdraw from representing him. There was an In Touch article also reporting that Ye's former chief of staff, Milo, has accused the rapper of being addicted to this nitrous oxide. Nitrous oxide is a laughing gas that you take from a dentist, right? Now, this person also is alleging that Kanye's dentist, which is this guy here who's really buff. I mean, what kind of dentist is this? Interesting. Very interesting what celebrities choose as a dentist. But his name is Thomas Connolly, and he provided the father of four with the substance in exchange for $50,000 a month. So they say, you know, I'm just telling you what they're saying. This is alleged, okay? The 39-year-old has claimed that Ye became harder to work with. This is his friend or who works with him, his chief of staff. And because he has these mood swings, because he's addicted, because this guy is basically giving him the snuff, okay? So this also is somewhat of a correlation to, I mean, does this sound familiar to you guys, the Michael Jackson thing? Because it sounds familiar to me, okay? I don't find it, I mean, I don't think it's a coincidence that it's somewhat like a Michael Jackson story. I mean, to me, it sounds just like a Michael Jackson story. Okay, anyway, but am I on my own? Some people would say no because of Jews, but didn't Michael Jackson say some things before he died? I'm pretty sure he did. Anyway, so what do we have? Okay, so I couldn't look up Kanye's chart because he doesn't have a time, right? And that is so annoying. Let me see if I have this here. I'm going to add the current vibe in the sky here. Okay, so we're just gonna bring this up. I don't have a time for him. Hold on, let me get a drink here. Okay, so, and let me explain something. This is crazy. If this is really Kanye, and I think he's a Cancer rising because, right, his mom, it makes some sense. He has to have some 12th house placements because he talks about porn a lot. He also talks about things that he's like, no, I got to bring out, I'm going to say my stuff. The sun in the 12th house makes sense for me with him because he's like, speak my truth. I'm going to say my truth. He says all that. So that's very Gemini energy. Yeah, and he's very bold, and it's in the public. I don't know. Don't quote me on the Cancer rising, but I just felt like it was fitting. So I scooched it over to a Cancer rising. Could be a Gemini rising too. Okay. But because of, and then the relationship with the mom is always talked about, but because of the relationship with the mom, that's why I put that there. And Pluto in that fourth house would make sense because it means like his mom will pass, right? Okay. And he's close to has a relationship with the mom. Yeah. Anyway, so I put that there. But okay, moving on. What else do I have in my notes? He said he was going to own a porn company. This is also related. We're talking about Kanye West. Him owning a porn company is also related to this addiction that they're saying he has. They have shown footage of him constantly saying he is addicted to, not addicted, but that everyone should try this nitrous oxide, which is crazy that he would tell people to try this stuff. Okay. Anyway, but I do want to say, let me see. Okay. So I have here my notes because I wrote this stuff a long time ago and then I move on. Okay. Oh, this T square. Okay. So this Jupiter conjunction here, Jupiter and Mars. First of all, it's on top of his sun and Jupiter. And I do know there is an article, a video of him, Candace Owens, interviewing him a few years ago that she just released. I haven't watched it, but I'm interested to watch that. And makes sense that these planets now are sitting on top of that sun. Like, let's bring this out in the open of what he was saying. So that happened. Now, this is also going to square, which is the Saturn and Pisces and the restrictions of drugs. Okay. Anyway, but let me see what and it's also going to bring awareness of what he's trying to take, maybe too. That is also what I get with that. Mercury will enter Leo. So I think the story will get bigger when Mercury retrogrades into the sign Leo. You see it's in the sign of health currently right now. Is this currently? Yeah. Currently about his health. But when it gets into Leo, celebrities. Okay. Looks like he has Saturn in Leo. I think, does it touch Saturn in Leo? Because it's 12 degrees, it might get close, and that's really going to bring the restriction out on what he's restricted on. Yeah. Anyway, maybe some more rumors, some crazy things said about him. Jupiter is transiting the sky, conjunct that Mars on top of the sun, so there is no chill. I thought maybe he would get bigger. He was going to say more, but maybe he won't say more. Maybe there'll be releasing of things, and a lot of debates and discussions about things that he's already said, and people would just be reposting it and putting it together. A lot of detective energy, right? With the internet, but a lot of focus on him. There's going to be increased energy. He may be very impulsive. Communication problems will probably be higher than ever with Kanye. Overestimating his resources or his capabilities can be happening. Restlessness and lack of satisfaction could also happen with this. A pressure to perform also can happen with this. Potential to be reckless. We already know he could be reckless, but all that energy. Look out for Kanye. Pray for Kanye. Ye, formerly known as Kanye West. Even if you dislike him, okay, we want to put the love out there. And addiction. He's a father of four. It's sad. Even if you're a blood or a crip, a blood or a crip, a Democrat or Republican, you want to spread the love. You don't want the saying, I don't wish that on my worst enemy. Addiction to anyone is a sad case, and if he is restricted, so the conspiracy will say, then that's a sad case too. So let's start to get into the politics, shall we? Wondered why certain patterns repeat in your life, why you may deeply connect with a certain person, or what is your true calling meant to be in this lifetime. A full natal chart breakdown can provide profound insights into these questions and more. Your natal chart is a snapshot in the sky at the exact moment you were born, mapping out the positions of the planets in the sky and their influences. Understanding your natal chart can provide psychological insights, helping you identify with your subconscious patterns and your emotional blocks. For just $150 is a great investment in yourself, comparable to multiple sessions with a therapist for career, relationships, personal growth, and more. Invest in yourself and discover the wisdoms of the stars. Visit my website to purchase your full natal chart breakdown. Let's unlock your potential together. Okay, I hope you could hear that commercial. I'm still new at trying to do things here. And then I see What's the Tea? Hello, What's the Tea? And she's talking about Kanye. Did you hear how he treated those teachers at his school? No. I bet it was challenging. No, I would not want to work with Kanye. I just wouldn't. I would listen to what he's saying now. I would listen. I do think he's intelligent. I do think he's different. I do think he's polarizing. And listen here, I listen to everyone. So very interesting I wonder what he did with the teachers though. But yes, the pendulum always swings. Yes. I don't know how it feels to be a celebrity. I don't know how it feels to be trapped. I do know his music seems very I don't listen to all of it. But when I did, it seems like it has a cohesive, is that the word? I feel like he talked about being a slave as a celebrity, and who could relate to that because we're not celebrities. And then I feel like he still talks about that. So there's something there. And, I'm not a celebrity. I can't relate. Thank God. I don't want to be successful in that way at all. I want to be successful in my own right, but not celebrity to the stars. No, I am not the one. You can't sacrifice anything for me. Okay. But thank you. What's the tea? So now let's get into what we have okay. So what I'm going to do is, okay. So normally I've been doing the politics first, but I feel like I have to talk about, which I just showed him. I have to talk about the current vibe in the sky first and then talk about the politics. I want us to understand what's vibing out in the sky. Okay. So on the 14th, and we're already feeling all of this, right? Mercury will officially retrograde and enter the sign Leo. Then we have this Mars and Gemini conjunction, which you see has already been affecting us. And now it's going to square, it's already squaring Saturn, but now enters Venus. Venus is going to enter the party in the sign of Virgo. It will be an official T-square. I will explain what that means for us, and then also related to, I was about to say the celebrities, but related to the politicians that I would discuss their predictions. Okay. August 19th, we have an Aquarius full moon. I think that is the same day as the Democratic convention. I wonder who scheduled that. That's interesting. And then we have a Cazimi also, which squares Uranus that day. So I'm going to talk about all this first and how it relates to us, the individuals, and then how it relates to the people. Am I saying the people? The Democrats. Yes, the Democrats. Okay. So let me pull out what we have here. We're gonna go to the 14th. We're gonna take Kanye out of here. We're gonna go to the 14th. Okay. On hours. Okay. So on the 14th, okay, Mercury will officially enter. Where's my Mercury here? Okay. Mercury will fully enter retrograding in the sign Leo, 29 degrees. Okay. This is on the 14th. Now, and when it hits the 19th, it's going to be retrograding in sign Leo. But anyway, but there, when you have Mercury retrograding in Leo, there's communication about this self-expression. And anytime you have a Mercury retrograding, you're redoing, you're reassessing, you're repeating, okay? All the RE words, you're reminding, you're probably calling that old Leo friend, okay? But you're probably going to revisit a creative project, maybe reevaluate how you express yourself to others and how you communicate. There's a lot of conflict. Personally, do not fight with others. Stay away from fighting, okay? A lot of conflict with Mercury retrograding in Leo. Leadership authorities are being challenged, or you are being challenged by leadership, okay? Leo also represents a lot of presidents. Okay, so let's see how this is going to play a big part with them. Reflection on identity and ego. Who has the egos? The leaders, but you yourself you have an ego too. So there's a reflection on that. There's dramatic reactions, emotional expressions. Yeah, so miscommunication, clashing of the egos, overemphasis on drama, very dramatic energy, delays in creative projects, struggles with authority. Okay, reflect before you speak. Revisit creative projects. Manage your ego, adjust your public image. This is what you should do, okay? But collectively, not just individually, because I was more individually, collectively, let's see what's going to happen with leadership, what happens to presidents, what happens to people running for presidents, public figures, influencers, children, celebrities, children influencers, any type of love affair with children. Let's see who's cheating, who's going to come out on. Also athletes, right? Reevaluating the public narrative, disruptions in any type of creative industry. So like, what's the creative industry? I can only think of cricket, but maybe YouTube. I don't know, but let's see what happens with that. Challenges in collective communication, revisiting national or cultural pride. What else do we have? Yeah, a lot of scandals involving leaderships and love affairs, diplomatic misunderstandings. Yeah, so get ready for that. Now, oh, let me just tell you what Mercury is going to be doing as it retrogrades in the sign Leo. Okay, so Mercury on the 14th, immediately, hello, in a few more days. So get ready. Mercury moves fast. Okay, but Mercury, when it hits the 14th, so you can know, Mercury is going to quincunx. Sorry, I feel like I have to burp, but it's not, and I don't want to burp in the mic. It's going to quincunx Neptune in Pisces. Okay, quincunx is not opposing; it's like a little bit off. And when you have a quincunx, there's confusion, there's miscommunication, there's some uncomfortableness when it comes to communication with the delusions, with the secrets. Okay, so get ready for that. Emotions could be high. It could be involving all the themes that I said earlier, like leadership or a love affair. So let's see what this quincunx does for leaders and for us, our secrets. Yes, but it's uncomfortable energy. Okay, people don't like the way it feels, so there could be some misunderstandings and some clashes, and it causes a discomfort. Okay, now then what else do we have on the 17th? Mercury in Leo, still retrograding, is going to square Uranus, right? 27 degrees, 27 degrees. What is a 27 degree? Let me see. 24, 25, 26, 27. Communication. So this is going to be blasted out. This could happen in your community. This could happen with siblings, okay? But there's disruption, there's innovation, sudden changes, okay? When it comes to speaking with your pride, okay? Speaking from the gut. This all could be a sudden change, okay? Now, this is a fixed sign. This is a fixed sign. So it wants to stay the same, and something's probably trying to change it. Okay. So abrupt shifts in public opinion, surprising announcements, or maybe technology could be disrupted that affects a communication system. Okay. Or like debates and conflicts over new versus old, finances, technology, security. Yeah. Wouldn't do the stocks that day. Uranus, and yeah, don't do it on the 17th. Okay, so that's what we have, and then let's move on to The 18th, Mercury will have a cazimi. That means that we're in the middle of this Mercury retrograde. And whenever we have a cazimi, there's some clarity, there's some insight, there's some new beginnings. This also could be a new announcement, a huge announcement in the sign Leo. So with children, with influencers, with presidents, with leaders. Okay. So that could be happening. The cazimi offers cazimis. Cazimi is when Mercury is in the heart of the sun. Any cazimi can happen, like Venus could be a cazimi, but it's when a planet is in the heart of the sun, and that makes it a special cazimi. It also makes it very strong. Okay, so yes, but there could still be some confusion here. So let's get ready. But I find that it's a brief window where the typical retrograde confusion kind of lifts up. So there is a positivity here because Sun God is like, no, let's fix this up. You guys wake up. We got to fix this up here. So there could be some confidence, something that's going to happen positive. Let's see what happens. Okay, so then we have on the 22nd, Mercury is going to trine Chiron. Chiron is the planet of healing. Where's my Chiron at? Here we go. Chiron is going to, 23 degrees. That is socializing, your hopes and dreams, the future, things that are very out of the box, these kind of things, maybe groups and friends. But there's going to be some healing with yourself, healing through communication, addressing your wounds, constructive dialogue. Okay. Now Mercury also on the 22nd is going to sextile. When you have sextile, that means you have to do more work, but it's going to sextile Mars. It doesn't mean this is going to really affect you, but it can affect you if you do the work. Okay. So sextile is positive, it's supportive energy. There's active communication. You're very strategic when it comes to your action. There's mental agility. Okay. And let's see what else we have for on the 28th is when it goes direct. So people will start feeling better. The arguments will decrease. The lies will not be lying anymore. If there's any deceptive or misunderstandings or miscommunication, all that goes clear, and you won't lose your keys. You can still lose your car keys, but it gets better. Mercury's working the way it should. Now we'll fully get out of this during the date 9/11. That's easy for me to remember because 9/11 is such a real day. Okay, so so that is what we have with Mercury retrograde in sign Leo. And I just wanted you to be aware. So when I'm explaining the politics of things in the cazimi, you understand. Now, Mercury is going to have that cazimi. Wait, let me see. Did I talk about? Okay. Talk about Mercury retrograding. Oh, let me talk about the T-square. Okay, I talked about the cazimi, but let me first roll back on this T-square. Okay, so on the 14th, we have, where is Jupiter here, and Venus? Jupiter and Mars are conjunct. Okay, now they're hugging. This is strong energy. Okay, now these two are hugging. Strong energy makes you restless, makes you anxious, a lot of talking, a lot of news, a lot of data, a lot of multitasking, just moving too much, right? So when you have these two, mutable, okay, it's very mutable. All the things are mutable. So these two are conjunct. Conjunctions are good and bad, but they're very strong. At the same time, these two are squaring Saturn in Pisces and squaring Venus in Virgo. Okay. We are going to feel this. We're already feeling this. It's getting closer. And now you are here officially August 14th. Mutable signs, they're all mutable signs. They're associated with intellectual, communication, socializing, and change. Okay. This T square will bring challenges related to communication, learning, information, being adaptable, being flexible, or processing information, or socializing. It's going to bring problems with these things. Okay. The components here is intense energy, powerful motivation, a catalyst for change. Now, the opposition planets here are these two, and this is the apex. The apex is the planet that we are really need to focus on. There's two planets that's really causing the focus, and there's adding tension with these two things. These two things, they're important, but the more important thing is this overload of aggressive information. Okay, so Saturn in Pisces down here, and we'll talk about the horoscopes, but first let me just explain the energy so when we're talking about everything you understand, right? So Saturn in Pisces is going to highlight challenges when it comes to restriction and stopping and boundaries and limits. Okay, it's very self-sacrificing. It's government at a falsity, it's limitations, it's fears, it's fraud, it's secrets of old men. Okay, challenges with boundaries and borders. Okay, also like spirituality and being very serious with spirituality, being very serious about your intuition, being very serious about the things that are secretive and unknown. Okay, so that's what you have with Saturn. Now Venus in the sign Virgo, that is, I was about to say the whole gardening too. Okay, but Venus in Virgo is not that passive with the intimacy, okay, as you think, but it could be practical, but at the same time, Kim Kardashian has a Venus in Virgo. You get what I get. Okay, so sexual relationships, okay, modest with sexual relationships, are very calculated with sexual relationships. Okay, but this also is energy of being reliable or having slow love or having some clear attachments. This is the opposite of like you can't see it. Virgo wants to have the tangible. I want to touch it. I want it to be very clear. I want equality. I want financial gain. I want to pay attention to the details. I want to focus on service. They're both about service though too. Very perfectionist tendencies. Women with values kind of energy. Okay, now these two aren't getting along. Okay, so it's practicality over wishful thinking. It's service versus self-service. Okay, it's being overcritical. It's being emotionally overwhelmed. There's social burdens. There's feelings of loneliness. You're feeling supported, but in a cold way, like you have no emotion. So maybe there's a fear of reaching out. There's doubts about being supported. Relationships being tested. You have all that going on, right? And then here's the apex. The apex is like, everyone look at me. This is really the problem. Y'all think y'all got problems, but this is really the problem, right? The Jupiter and Gemini, which I've talked about a lot. It's about the learning and explorations and sharing ideas and being very cynical and talking a lot and a lot of debates and pranks. Okay. Mars and Gemini is going to be very impulsive and wants to have change and is going to move very fast, especially with information, and talk a lot, and it's going to fight with its words. Now, Jupiter in Gemini is, let's expand on this. Let's learn as much as we can, but just a surface level. We don't need to get too deep, but we're also going to expand the Mars in Gemini. So if you want to fight with your words, go ahead. Yes, fight with your words. Actually, let's not just fight with your words. Let's get a teleprompter and let's get a megaphone and really fight with your words. Okay, and conjunctions are good and bad, but because we have the square, we're gonna say it's bad. Okay, but there's impulsiveness here towards self-glorification. There's self-aggrandizement. Okay, I'm the big shot. Very talkative energy, very physical. I'm a physical confidence. Yeah, it's very synergy energy, but because it's squaring, it's causing some chaos. Okay, so when we have all the squares, when we have the square getting together, you have the intellectual drive versus your discipline and your discipline of spirituality versus with the practicality. Okay, so the apex planet creates a strong drive for intellectual exploration and quick action, but it clashes with being very detailed and being disciplined. Okay, you got to balance the energies. You're going to be very impulsive. You're going to have the need to have precision and detail, but things are going to be moving too fast. There's something that's going to change, and you're not going to want it to change. Okay, very emotional, very sensitive energy, especially with this one here. Okay, conflict with discipline is what we're going to get as a collective. Okay, get ready. There's some type of big news for everyone. Okay, now let me see what else we have here. That is what I have for the T-square. Let's talk about the Cazimi. Now the Cazimi is going to happen, which I just discussed. Let's put the Cazimi up here, right? So this is at 26 degrees. 26 degree is a Taurus degree, okay? So this is going to happen this week. This is also going to affect the Democratic convention. Let's see how it does. So, but there's, some good news with this. But 26 degrees is a Taurus degree. Taurus degree is some tangible news, finances. Will we get an announcement about our taxes? That's more Scorpio. So I'm thinking there's something about the economy and money and stocks. Okay, that could be happening now. What did I say? Focus on insight, highly beneficial, boost, very warm, very creative, sharp intellect, persuasive leadership. There's a strong desire for recognition, could be happening. People are feeling overconfident and arrogant, in a good way, okay, with this Kazemi. Now, this is 27 degrees. When you have 27 degrees in Leo, I know it says 26 degrees, but we looked at the Sabian symbol, I did, in 27 degrees in Leo. This is also going to help us understand what is this Kazemi coming up, maybe for the Democratic Party, maybe for us, okay? The Sabian symbol for 27 degrees in Leo, the key word is daybreak, okay? A genius, okay? There's new hope. This makes me think Kamala is going to say a speech and like, you guys, there's new hope. There's a new day. This is a second chance. Let go of the grudges, let go of the past. And this is a cycle of change. I mean, an astrologer set up the date and time that she's going to have this convention. So let's see if that is what literally what the Sambian symbol is. Like, let go of the past, let go of Biden. You guys, come on, let go of Biden. We got some new changes. Now, this Kazemi is going to sextile that Jupiter energy. So the news is going to be big and good. Okay. Sextile is expensive, it's communication, it's huge, and it's supportive energy. So great news overall, opportunities to have people comprehend what you're saying. Okay. Positive interactions. What else we have? Able to comprehend the information that was overloaded in the first place, balancing details in the big picture. If you guys have some personal work that you need to get done, you need to get the details, you want it to be clearly communicated, this is the time to do it. This might be a great time to, let's see, but I'm thinking maybe even some finances. If you want to do a little trade real quick, do it real quick, just on this day, okay? But enhanced learning, effective communication. But it's supporting the Kazemi. Okay, but the Kazemi is also, well, maybe I spoke too soon. Don't do any betting, okay? Because the Kazemi, wait, hold on one second. My kid is out right now. And I want to make sure. Okay, so let me say she can text. Hold on, wait a minute. Okay. Anyway, okay. So now it is squaring. The Kazemi is squaring Uranus. So this is where, okay, so there's disruption. There's freedom and independence that's being questioned. Okay. Here, Taurus is about stability. It's about material comfort. And there's some resistance to change here, some unpredictable communications regarding maybe your finances, regarding. So here I'm thinking it was going to be bueno with the finances. But let's see, there could be some difficulty staying focused, resistance to conventional ideas, provoking controversy, impulsive communication regarding our resources, mental overload, even though this was positive, but the square is stronger. So maybe if they did it in the right way, there is supportive energy, but there could be a disruption that could cause some chaos still at the same time, okay? People could be overstimulated, or maybe they're giving a great speech, they're giving this great announcement, and the Wi-Fi turns off. The internet turns off, okay? Or maybe an influencer comes in and like, no, this is the truth. I was getting paid to do this. All that could be happening. Oh, which I didn't speak. I'll talk about that when I talk about. Remind me to talk about the influencers getting paid by Kamala, okay? Because that is definitely in the stars. Anyway, so that is what you have with the Kazemi. Let me see what else we have. Uranus. Oh, it's going to try Chiron. Okay, so it's trying in Chiron. That's positive. This Kazemi, this announcement, whatever people say, is going to work really well with healing and healing of the self. So if you're talking about Kamala doing something for the first time, there are a lot of people may get some healing with this. Chiron is a wounded healer. It's giving some personal growth. It's also achieving what you're meant to do in this lifetime. like your purpose is more what I was thinking. So flowing energy, positive interaction. Trine is very positive. So leadership and being very authentic. I hope she's authentic with this self brand here. Her true self is going to work really well with healing others. Okay. If she can do it, I think so. Trines actually just happen without you doing any work. Okay. Now, this Kazemi is also going to be Queen Cups Neptune. Okay. So it's like uncomfortable. So this huge message could be a lie by the government. That's what I have on my notes. Okay. I wrote this 2 weeks ago. So I wonder what I was thinking. This message is a lie by the government. That is what I have at the top of my note. So that's what this could be representing. Neptune is deception and lies and secrets and hidden things. Okay. So whatever this positive thing that we think is going to happen, maybe they're going to say something about our resources or something, but it's a deception. That's what I have. Okay. Neptune can blur communication, leading to mixed messages or confusions. Leaders may struggle to understand clearly, and their words may be misinterpreted. Neptune can also cause leaders to drift off topic or get distracted, making their communication seem unfocused and scattered. Sharp intellect in Mercury and Kazemi can lead to overloading audience and being too much, like having too much information, which we do have here, right? Especially when trying to balance it with something that's very complex. So maybe there's a politician could introduce something new and it's going over our head, okay? Elusive and confusion, trustworthiness issues, tensions between Mercury, desire for clear, confident expression. And then that Neptune is very fluid. So it's like, it's not hitting right, abstract ideas. Leader may find it hard to make clear boundaries in communication. So confusion with the clarity. Okay. What else do we have? Tension and adjustments. What else do we have? Empathetic connections. I wonder why I wrote that. But okay. So that is what we have for the Queen Cups. Oh, this Kazemi is doing a lot. Okay. Not only is it doing it over here, hitting over here. Now it is opposing the moon in Aquarius, and we have a full moon in Aquarius, you guys. So this Kazemi is opposing the Aquarius moon. So there is emotional detachment. There is this argument about the people. Aquarius energy makes me think of Kamala because she is doing something different that's not normal, right? Her being a female, is she black? Is she Indian? She is both. Could be both. We're not going to start that argument. I'm here to listen to it, though. I'm here to listen to all of it. Yeah, but so she makes me think of Aquarius. So moon in Aquarius is emotional detachment, objective perspective. What else do we have? The moon represents the common people, especially ones who are feeling like they are breaking free from the norm. So could this argument, maybe this is Donald Trump, we'll get into it, having this argument and it is not going for the people. Okay. Emotional, and I'm not saying that all people are for Kamala, but Aquarius energy makes me think of Kamala. Okay. So that's why. And Leo makes me think of Trump. Okay. Emotional disconnection, struggle with the audience engagement, overemphasis in intellectual ideas. That has come up several times. So let's see if we get confused for this Democratic convention. Resistance to emotional vulnerability. Aquarius may lead to overfocus on idealistic, utopian ideas that seem out of touch and not very practical with realities. Leaders may struggle to ground their message in something tangible for their audience. Mercury in Leo is confident. It could be perceived as very egotistic, especially if it isn't balanced by the collective focus on the Aquarius moon. So are you trying to help the people, leader? Because it doesn't seem like you are. Okay. Difficulty in addressing emotional concerns, misalignment of message and audience values. You know what's so interesting? While reading all the things, it seems like because you are talking about convention that's going to be worldwide, everyone's going to watch it, and there's going to be a ton of mixed emotions. Let's see how all this complicated energy is going to affect everyone. Now on the 19th is when the Democratic Party starts, right? But if we're just talking about us, the collective, we have this Aquarius full moon. Now I have a membership only thing, and I talk about how I talk about the full moons, I talk about the new moons, I talk about a lot of things that I don't talk about on here, and how to better help when it comes to the full moon, especially if you have placements that are polarizing Aquarius, why I can't Leo placements. Okay. So It's just $4.99 a month, you guys, and really informative information. Now, the full moon, anytime you have a full moon in any sign, there is culmination, there is clarity, there's illumination, there's heightened emotions, there's an energy of releasing and letting go. Full moons can bring attention to your partnerships, to collaborations, to group interactions. There's a crisis, there's a turning point. It's an opposition. There is the woman fighting with the man, the mom versus the dad, okay? Male versus female. I think that's the same thing, okay? So that is what you have. Now, when you have Aquarius, Aquarius is innovation, it's progress. It's the people, it's humanitarian, it's the internet, it's technology, it's communication, it's socializing, it's words, collective social consciousness, unconventional and rebellious energy. It wants to protest, okay? I'm very cold, detached emotionally. Now, this energy right now, this full moon that we have, that's going to be during the Democratic convention, the night of. Also, Biden announced his leaving and nominating Kamala on a full moon too. So you have that. So let's see what's going to happen with this. A focus on progression and humanitarian ideas, heightened emotions on collective energy, innovative ideas and unconventional approaches, tensions between tradition and progress. Are they going to be like, oh, y'all doing too much? I don't know if we want a transgender Secretary of State. You know, I'm just giving examples. Okay. Collective decision making and unity. Collective decision making and unity. Rebellion against the status quo. Focus on technology and future oriented policies. Increase awareness on social movements. Challenges in emotional connection. Potential for surprising developments. Okay. That is what we have. 27 degrees. Did I talk about the Sabian symbol for this? Oh, I did. Okay, so the Sabian symbol for this full moon, 27 degrees. Actually, let me go to this full moon. Let me go to the full moon. 1 second. You guys, I drank too much. Now I have to use the restroom. Okay. Okay, so here's the full moon here, right? We got this Kazemi that happened, but it's still touching. They're hugging each other now. They're not right on top of each other. They're hugging each other, and it's opposing the full moon. This is 27 degrees in Aquarius, and that's going to be the Sabian symbol. 27 degrees in Aquarius is, we're going to look at 28 degrees in Aquarius. Okay, so there is, the key word is immediacy. Instant. Okay, so something is going to happen fast. Okay, doing what needs to be done. Foresight, preparation, ability to quickly grasp what needs to be done in a crisis. A sacrifice for the lesser for the good of the greater. Hold on now. What does that mean? Sacrifice Biden? Sacrifice someone so someone could be famous? I don't know. But let's get rid of here because this is new. This is what needs to happen. Maybe there's a lack of imagination and creativity, a tendency to do things the hard way, efficiency, prepared for any unforeseen emergency or event, resourceful, productive, sensible, and realism. Now, this is personally, and this is also dealing with politics. I just want you to be aware of that, okay? This personally for you, again, for the collective, okay? Now, that is crazy because that relates to politics. Let's see how it relates to you individually. I will be doing horoscopes. Now, this full moon is going to sextile Chiron. So there's some healing here, healing for the first time, healing about yourself. Yeah, emotional healing too, right? Aries is also representing courage and independence and taking initiative. So there's healing and building of unity. Calling for new bold leadership too. Okay, so you have that. This Aquarius also, I think I talked about that. This full moon is also going to square Uranus in Taurus, right? So unpredictable events, disruptions. I wonder if the internet's going to turn off. Tensions between progress or traditions. Is the mic going to turn off while they're talking? Challenges in maintaining unity, difficulty in grounding ideas. People, it's going to be too fast. Overload of information, public backlash or controversy, increased anxiety and stress, resistance to change, radical or unexpected proposals, struggles with technology, which I said earlier, difficulty in connecting with the public. Ooh, child. Oh, child. Why would they do that? Now, Aquarius full moon is also opposing that Kazemi, the Mercury. So emotions versus that what is being said. Power struggles, emotionally disconnected, overemphasis on personality, difficulty in achieving a consensus, public perception challenges, struggle with inclusivity, intellect versus emotional appeal, distractions from the core issue. Okay, the emotions and thinking outside of the box, which is like, I'm not too deep in it, it's causing some conflict in words. Okay, yeah, so that is what we have. Let me see. I said the full moon, 27 degrees Mercury. Oh yeah, and at 27 degrees is also dealing with this disruption here, something out of the blue, something new. When I read it in 28 degrees and Aquarius, yeah. So what do we have during this week? The moon. Okay, so during this week also, during this convention, and just for you guys to know, let me remove this. The moon will be going to Pisces and then going to Aries. So during the Democratic convention, the moon will move into, where's our moon? Where's our moon? Is this now? Okay, so the moon's in Scorpio right now. Just so you know, you're very emotional. You're probably intense. There's probably some healing. You want to be deeper than other. There's probably a lot of intimacy things going on, right? Moon enters Sagittarius. Be careful of overdoing it at home. Sorry, of overdoing it at home. You could be over optimistic, or you could just be optimistic and be very happy about your day when it get out. Actually, very positive. When moon enters Capricorn, I'm following this here, so this is moving this way. When moon enters Capricorn, we're a little bit more serious and we're a little more grounded with our emotions. We may not express our emotions that clearly, maybe a little bit cold to our emotions. And then that moon enters Aquarius, and that's when you're thinking outside the box. And this is very cold energy too. But we have that full moon now. The moon will enter into Pisces. When it goes into Pisces, okay, sorry. When it goes into Pisces, there's also the endings of things. And I wonder what's going to be closing off with that Democratic Party. They're like, look, the death of Biden, this is a new start here, which will be happening on the 21st. Okay. But Pisces also is very emotional. It's a great time to get tarot readings too, whenever you have the moon in Pisces. But then you move on to moon in Aries, and Aries is a fire sign. It's about action, it's about initiation, assertiveness, independence, very bold, very dynamic. And it's like, I'm going to get it started. And this is about new. So the new energy starts. And then Virgo will enter, the sun will enter Virgo, and that's all about the work and all about her being very detailed. Okay. Last day of convention. Oh, I have that in my notes. So the sun will enter Virgo. Focus on details. Service is going. I want to be a service to you guys. I want to be responsible to you guys. All that's going to be discussed. Health. Healthcare will be discussed. Analytical thinking. What else do we have? Being practical, focus on education and labor laws. Oh yeah, that will be big. Increase attention on critique and analysts. The numbers. When they talk about, what do they do when they do the polls? That'll probably be bigger. Emphasis on service and duty, attention to detail and communication, highlighting the importance of efficiency and organization, a call for humanity and modesty, increased focus on problem solving, prioritizing a policy over a person, over personality, a focus on environmental and agricultural, because it is about the farms and the wheat with Virgo. Okay, so next week, just so you guys know, Venus will square Mars. Get ready for that. Square is tension, and you're talking about socializing and aggression. Yeah, not going. Are you trying to be intimate with your man? There's some conflict. Okay. Also, Virgo season. What happened next week? Okay. So now let's talk about this Democratic Party. Okay. Let me see. Let me tell you. I had to look it up. Okay. This is my first time watching Democratic Party. I did not watch the Republican convention, and I wish I did, because now I see some stuff. I'm like, oh, I missed it. I didn't know that person spoke. I want to see it all, you guys. I have a Mars in Gemini, a Venus in Gemini. I like to hear both sides of the story. Okay. So we have that. So the Democratic National Convention, called the DNC, occurs every 4 years and is a gathering of delegates, representatives, all 50 states and the U.S. territories. Okay. Democrats will gather in Chicago to rally behind our Democratic nominees for president and vice president of the United States of America to celebrate their achievements over the past term and to chart a path for the future. It's going to happen in Chicago. It's going to happen between August 19th to the 22nd. So I will be looking at that. Primetime programming speeches will take place at the United Center. I wanted the exact time, could not find the exact time. That was annoying. Now, you guys, before I get into this, I have to use the restroom. So I'm going to play this loop and I'm going to use the restroom. I'm going to come back. It should take me a minute. So pretend like this is a commercial, okay? All right, that's what we're going to do. You guys have patience. Okay, I'm back. She's back. Commercial break over. It wasn't a commercial. Anyway, okay. Thank you for waiting. Okay, so now let's get into Kamala. Let's get into her chart. Oh my gosh. Where is... Oh my gosh. I have to do a new chart. All my charts. Oh my gosh. Clear. I lost my Kamala. So I got to find a new Kamala chart. Hold on 1 second. Oh, this is annoying. Can I just type it in? You guys, I was pressing a button. How do I delete these? Okay. This is, okay. How do I remove from favorites? I'm so annoyed. Okay, let me just go back. So freaking annoying. Mercury retrograde. Okay, I have to go back and add Kamala to the list. Okay. Kamala, I have to go back and look up her natal chart and add her natal chart. Maybe I should just say it. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. I'm just, you're gonna have to, and I'm mad because if I had her chart, I can also look at more things, but it is what it is. I've been speaking for a long time. Okay, so let me just bring this up here. Okay, so Kamala is a Gemini rising. This really bugs me. How can I pull up a chart that I had? I have a bunch of Kanye West and I'm mad. I was looking at LA because there was an earthquake this morning. And for some reason, it saved like 10,000 LA charts. Okay. Okay. Whatever. Okay. Sorry. This won't happen again, but I'll just tell you. Kamala, let me remove this actually. Okay. So Kamala's T-square. So Jupiter in Gemini is in her first house. Okay. Let me actually pretend this is her chart. We'll go to a Gemini rising. Okay. Jupiter in Gemini is in her first house. And there is a need of focus, beginnings, her identity, all this. What is this saying? Hold on. Let me look at my notes. She needs to focus on herself. Oh, because that's the apex, right? And there's some beginnings, her identity. There's some challenges, maybe with the fear and limitations, with government secrets, secret old man, okay? Because this is happening in her 10th house, old man, Saturn and old man and secrets, and her past relationships, out of the blue support. You guys, this T-square already has been causing a problem for her. Okay. She paid for people to support her, which is this Venus, and it's not working. And on the internet, okay, she paid for people, influencers, to help discuss things with her. And on her chart, this is on top of Uranus. Okay, so and it's just not working. So Venus and Virgo is on top of her Uranus and Virgo, which is about disruptions, is also about the internet. And the influencers are like, she's trying to pay us to talk and we're not doing it. It's so interesting because I would think if it was someone else, they would do it. And I'm not saying because she's a woman, it's just that the sky and, the planets in the sky, it did not work for her. Okay. But there's some conflict in here and there's some restrictions. And it's like, you tried to keep this hidden, but we are putting this on blast. Okay. That is what happening now. Pluto is in Virgo on her chart too. Transformational power. Pluto and Virgo is associated with deep transformation and rebirth. And then that Venus, she has a Venus in Virgo too, and Venus is on top of that. So that is her core values. It's in the fourth house of emotions and foundation. So when you have all this connected, there's an emphasis on personal and family values, or maybe something with her home. But this is all fitting for LA, for America, right? All this fourth house energy, these placements she has in the fourth house. Pluto is in the sign Virgo in the fourth house. Her Uranus is in the sign Virgo in the fourth house. She has Venus in the sign Virgo in the fourth house. And this is squaring Saturn, the government, the limits, the fears, is all opposing. And there's a lot of information that's squaring it. Okay. So I'm wondering if there is going to be something discussed, something that comes out. Pluto with the secrets of power. I wonder if something's going to come out. We already had the secret emails come out of her trying to pay stuff. Venus does represent your support and you paying for stuff. Emphasis on personal and family values versus her abstract seriousness regarding her image. She already been having that problem. Okay. You guys, I'm going to bring out Megan Thee Stallion and she going to twerk, 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 twerk. And the people are like, what kind of, so that already happened. But Virgo energy also is very clear. And so the Venus is support. So clear support potential for transformation change, not working with the secret limitations that could be happening, innovative approaches to domestic issues. And I would think the domestic issues of what she had in the past, because the fourth house can represent past and could represent her sexual past also, because Pluto is power of sex too. Okay. Attention to details in her campaign strategy could be causing problems. Challenges with sudden changes, balancing public and private life, the public versus the private. Okay. Strength in facing adversity, focus on service and improvement, potential for radical shifts in public perception. Okay. Now I have here old men reading her public image, old men saying things on blast about her public image or her past versus relationships in the past stands out here for me. Okay, so let me read my notes. Okay, old men reading her public image versus her relationships in the past stands out here for me. So let's see if she gets bigger with the T square and it's all over the news regarding how people see her. What did I mean by that? Okay, so something here with the restrictions. I think this is old man and his secret love affairs. Okay, I'm just telling you what I think it means. It also means limitations. It also means government and secrets. It also means fears. It also means borders and boundaries. And old men. Could represent Trump, okay, who's moving in secret or has some hidden agenda. And this is not working with her support and how she's supported. Now, she has Pluto in here. She has Pluto on her chart, and that's in the sign Virgo. She has Uranus in her chart, and that's in the sign Virgo. Uranus is unexpected things. Uranus also represents social media. It also represents the internet. It also represents upheaval, sudden changes, sudden surprises. Okay. Conjunct that Pluto in Virgo. Her Pluto in Virgo is power, obsession with power. This could be her obsession of power, or it will be hers, not Donald Trump's. Okay. So there's something there in support. Okay. And it's going to challenge the news and something's going to be said, I think. Let's see if it's not already. Okay. What else do we have? On the 18th, the Kazemi. Now we're in the we're a day before the national convention, you guys. Okay, so we're the day before the national convention, and the Kazemi is going to conjunct her Mars and Leo in the third house. So oh, I gotta go back to, let me see, Mercury, no, Gemini. Oh, what am I doing? Let me go back. Okay, so the Kazemi here is in her third house, and it's conjunct her Mars in the third house. So there's clarity and aggression here. It's going to work really good with her. She's going to be very assertive. She's going to be very powerful. There's leadership and local community kind of energy. Is she coming? Is she confronting everyone regarding the T square? Like, look at here. Y'all not going to talk about my sexual past. Is that happening? Defining her leadership and identity could be happening. This is a day before, but this is going to follow on to the next day. There's assertiveness, aggression. Yeah, so could be very positive, but with that Mars, it could be very aggressive. Okay, like she could be overconfident. But I think there's like a aha moment or clarity with how she needs to achieve things regarding this leadership and presidency. Okay, so she has that. This Kazemi is also going to sextile her ascendant and her north node that's in her first house in the sign Gemini, and the aha moment, the aha, the aha, the aha, the clarity. Okay, aha is not even a word. But there's assertiveness with her, her image and her what people think of her, right? Yeah, and that's going to work really well if she knows how to work it, with her originality and her being a leader and her speaking and her being polarizing. Yeah, it's going to work really well for her if she works with that positivity. Okay, let me see. Sextile her ascendant and her north node. Oh, her life purpose too, and her destiny, and a focus on some future growth. Let's see how this works out with her. This is the day before. It's very positive for her. Alignment of communication with her life purpose, enhanced public persona, opportunities for effective messaging, boosting confidence, positive public perception, networking is going to be great for her, strategic planning, clarity, increased adaptability and flexibility. Okay, all gonna work great for her. What else? Now this is not working great for her. Now these Kazimis here is going to square her Jupiter, which is sitting right here in a sign Taurus, and that's the planet of luck. Not all Jupiter aspects that are negative actually, but there could be some conflict with her public persona versus what she believes on the inside. Confidence leading to some missteps, struggle with unconscious fears and insecurities. Maybe there's some public scrutinies that could be happening, or it could be really positive. This Kazemi can make it really big and bring her some more financial backing. Yeah, it could happen that because Jupiter is positive. Okay, challenges with misunderstandings. What else do we have? Could be some internal things. We may not see it because Jupiter is in that 12th house. So, or something with the ending. Maybe she can't really talk about Biden ending. Maybe she has a problem with that. Okay. Kazemi is going to oppose this Kazemi here is going to oppose her Saturn in the sign Aquarius, which is really sitting right here in this 9th house. Okay. And Saturn is about discipline, right? And discipline and structure in her beliefs and challenges with expansion, right? She does have some limits with how much she can expand, and maybe because she is a female, right? But there's conflict between her self-expression and philosophical constraints, tension between creativity and discipline, struggles with authority and restriction, difficulty with complex ideas, balancing personal belief with the collective ideas, challenges in academic or legal pursuits. I don't think it will be anything legal, but I got to tell you all the meanings because you never know. You never know. Now, this full moon in Aquarius is going to happen in this 9th house here, and it's going to be on top of, because it's 27 degrees, and her Saturn in Aquarius is 29 degrees. So this full moon is going to move here, and it's going to be sitting right on top of her Saturn. So there is highlighting her seriousness and the government of being different. Okay. Yeah, this is going to be I mean, it's a great time to start that Democratic Party because that's very positive. But the ninth house could represent mistrusting everything that she can't see, rejects anything that seems unfamiliar. It's like, even though she has that Aquarius energy, that Saturn in the ninth house makes her very close minded. It could make her close minded, but very serious also about her philosophy too, or higher learning or legal matters, right? But being different legally, I do still want everyone to understand that I think that she is going to go to the Supreme Court. She gets bigger and bigger and bigger as her time goes on. So nothing but positive things about her. Doesn't mean I support her. I'm just telling you what the stars are saying. Okay. Let me see. Reevaluation of beliefs and philosophies. Focus on long-term goals and responsibilities. With this Aquarius sitting on top of that Saturn, responsibility towards collective ideas, confronting limitations in knowledge or beliefs, emphasis on discipline and structure in learning. Again, it could be some law things. This also could represent travel, but or publishing on a big stage, which I do think increase awareness on social and global issues. Okay. Um, could be very positive for her. Conjunctions are good and bad, but they are very strong. So we will witness that. We will see that. That will be on a big stage, whatever that aspect is, that government or serious or restrictions or fear and being different with the Aquarius and the moon highlighting it. Okay. That full moon is putting it on blast with emotions. Aquarius full moon also will trine her sun in Libra. Her sun in Libra is sitting over here, and Sun in Libra is conjunct Mercury in Scorpio, and they're sitting right here. So the sun is working really good with this aspect. So her emotions and how she achieved things and her ego, it all works great. Trine is very, very positive. Sun in Libra is relationships and harmony and law too. So that's going to work really well for her with the speaking, with deep, intense energy too. Okay. So yeah, but you know, okay. So moving on. What else we have? Uranus in Taurus is on her Jupiter in the 12th house. This is not new. This has been here for a long time. You remember Trump got shot with this Uranus and Taurus. His was sitting up here. Hers is sitting in that 12th house of secrets. So, there is some secret moves that are unexpected, and it's on top of Jupiter, which is positive, hence why, and the sign of Taurus, which is her resources, hence why she had that this unexpected gift happen for her. But I just want you to be aware that this is sitting there. It's going to be sitting there for a good minute, and it's in the 12th house. The 12th house is about endings and letting goes with her resources, but it's sitting on her Jupiter, which is very abundant and positive. Okay. Yeah, but there is some isolation there. I just want you to know that. And expansion on compassion or service could be happening, or challenges with material or security values, letting go of old beliefs or patterns could be happening with her currently. Okay. Now, Biden has it over here with the health. Trump had it over here with unexpected with career. So I don't know what's good or bad, but her sitting on top of Jupiter actually makes it more positive for her. Last day of the convention, the sun will enter Virgo, and I will enter the sun in Virgo will enter the 4th house, which will be on top of her Venus in Virgo. That's great support. Will also be on top of her Pluto in Virgo, which is more power or more secrets coming out that we will see, which makes sense because she's running a campaign. What else is in there? Uranus, expect the unexpected, with some very detailed information. Okay. Yeah. So that is what we have for Kamala. Let's get into, do we have Tim's chart? No, we don't have Tim Watt's chart. Anyway, he doesn't have a time. So the T square for him. Okay, let me just say that Kamala's T square looked most positive. Tim Watts doesn't look that good. Donald Trump doesn't look that good. Okay, so let me just get into, hold on, let me drink some. I did fresh squeeze lemon in my thing, and I just had a seed. Okay, anyway, Kamala's probably didn't seem positive. I'm just very detailed with the information I'm giving you, but hers overall was positive, even though the T square is negative for everyone, just so you know. Now, this T square that happens on the 14th, Oh, let me, for all of us. Now, in regards to Mr. Watts, that is her VP nomination, right? The Venus in Virgo is going to conjunct Pluto in Virgo. for him. What is his ascendant? Oh, we don't have a time. Okay, so I'm just going to let you know that he could have some intensity with relationships and values. There could be a purging or rebirth, which could be happening. It's going to be on top of his Chiron and Pisces. There's going to be something related to that. So there's healing here. Now, this square, the Saturn is going to, where's my Saturn? Where's my Saturn? Saturn is going to be top of his Chiron. So there's some healing, right? And then Venus in Virgo is going to be on top of his Pluto of transformation and change in regard to work, okay? Which is already happening with Venus in Virgo. However, there's challenges. It's not getting along. These two planets are opposing each other. It's not getting along. So there's tension between expansion and discipline, challenging deep-seated wounds, intense relationship dynamics, wondering how him and his wife are going to be doing, or him and Kamala. Transformational growth, that could be positive. Feeling overwhelmed and pressured. He may have some overexertion. He may be really tired. A lot of emotional intensity regarding his relationship or his partnership. Difficulty in balancing expansion and being disciplined. He's having a challenge with this newness. Not saying that he's not good at it, but to each his own. It's hard being running a campaign. Okay, so the Aquarius full moon is going to conjunct his Saturn in Pisces. His Saturn in Pisces. Okay, so there's illuminating this responsibility and this seriousness of service that could be happening for him. Conjuncts are good and bad. Okay, so the good thing is that now you're being serious. The bad thing is that you have some fear or you have some limitations. Okay, emotional weight and maturity, challenges in balancing individuality versus a collective responsibility, reevaluating your spiritual practices, confronting your fears and insecurities. Okay. On my notes, I have high emotions about his secret responsibilities. Okay. Sometimes, well, not sometimes. You guys, I believe that politicians are in the cult. I believe there's someone over there being a puppeteer. And when I read the charts, I just see it and I can't unsee it. Saturn in Pisces is about the secret person in charge. Okay. And he has some fears with that. Okay. Yeah. And the Aquarius moon might bring that out even bigger for him. Okay, so Aquarius full moon is also going to be sextile his Jupiter in Aries. Now this is positive, right? That full moon in Aquarius, where would his Aquarius be? Where am I? That full moon in Aquarius is going to probably give him some opportunities and innovative growth. Okay, which we do see because now he's at this convention. He just has to work with it. Now the Cazimi is opposing his Saturn. Cazimi, the announcement is limiting him and causing him some fear. We already brought up that he has some fear already. Okay. So be aware of that. Tensions between the self-expression and responsibility, challenges in communicating complex emotions, struggling with authority and self-criticism. Will he be able to give great speeches? Let's see. Balancing creativity with discipline, confronting fears around self-expression. People have speech writers. So let's see. Cazimi, this is also not good. The Cazimi is going to square Neptune, his Neptune in Scorpio. So again, some secrets may be highlighted, maybe not. The Cazimi could make him have some clarity with things that he's very unsure about, or yeah, but the square is tension. Okay, so there's some confusion, some miscommunication, challenges in disguising things versus reality versus fantasy, looking at things through a rose-colored lens, kind of energy, potential for deception and self-deception, emotionally sensitive and vulnerable. So he's not having such a great time because also the Cazimi is going to square his Venus. We're talking about Tim Watts. Is going to square his Venus of support. And he gets support through talking or through changes. And I did a video on him. So if you guys want to look at his chart, and I pulled a lot of cards on him. But this aha moment, this clarity is not working with his support and what he naturally attracts. And he attracts a bunch of different things, but it's squaring it. There's challenge here. So it makes me think that the words are not being the greatest about him. Conflicts with social interaction, difficulty in balancing boldness and with flexibility. Is he being stubborn? Does he not like to change? I don't know. So we'll see how that goes. Let's talk about Donald Trump. And I don't have his chart either. So that is the only chart I have is JD Vance. Annoying. Anyway, okay, but let's talk about Donald Trump. Donald Trump didn't seem like he was having the best. Okay, he actually seemed like he had the worst. Kamala was great, fine. Tim Watts was there. Donald Trump is the worst. Okay. His T square. What is he? He is a Leo rising. So let me just go to Leo rising. 1 second. And I'm just doing kind of like the week and a little bit after the Democratic Party. But this week, this T square, and the T square is in Gemini. He's great with Gemini energy. He's like, oh, I can talk your ear off, right? He has all that energy in his 11th house, and that is going to square, remember, the Saturn and Venus. So it's squaring these two things. Now, in regards to his chart, let me see. Positive side, major drive with his party, luck and goals, unexpected changes in news, announcements, emails, words. Is conjunct his Uranus in Gemini. So he likes this out of the blue, saying these speeches and speaking off the cuff. When he has the speeches at his conventional party, he didn't read what was on the thing. Of course, he has Uranus in Gemini in 11th house. Okay, so he's like, I'm not here for that. I'm not reading that teleprompter. I'm going to say what I want to say. Okay, now that's the positive side. Now the negative side, right? Because the conjunctions are going to bad. On the negative side, Jupiter in 20 degrees in Scorpio. Jupiter is retrograding on top of his body, future, and unexpected. And unexpected is not good. So Jupiter, I'm reading my notes, you guys. Jupiter, for some reason, 20 degrees is a Scorpio. So Jupiter, he has Jupiter in Gemini. Yes, he has Jupiter in Gemini, and it's sitting on top of this, but it's retrograding, and it's retrograding at 20 degrees, which is a Scorpio degree. Is retrograding with his future. And unexpected things is not good. On top of Trump's unexpected future and his body. Why do I have his body? Is it over here with Uranus? I thought he had Jupiter in Gemini. Saturn in Pisces challenges all the powers, restrictions that are secretive. He's just, I don't think he's, okay, it's opposing his finances. The Saturn of restriction and limits and fears and endings is opposing his finances, okay? His financial support, not working, okay? The 11th house themes, collective vision, building and engaging social network, focus on long-term goals and reform, right? Advocacy for social justice and humanitarian causes. He may be more of a humanitarian than we think because he has a lot of 11th house. He has 11th house placements, right? So Jupiter conjunct that Mars in 11th house brings expansion over these things. Now the Saturn in the 8th house is, which is squaring, the Saturn in the 8th house is bringing discipline and restriction and fear of death, which he did had a shooting. So it is bringing that. But intimacy, matters of life and death, I just discussed that. Karmic lessons and finances and responsibilities. That Venus in that second house is what he's attracting, finance, his self-worth. What is he worth? Is he worth anything? Do people value me? Desire for perfection. And the square is causing that tension between the two. And the focus is the 11th house, the people. So let's see how that works and if he can balance the fear of dying with his resources and his support, because they're not working with each other, and speaking out. Okay, the challenges is, let me see, overexertion, impulsiveness, power struggles, and control issues, difficulty in balancing personal and shared needs. Okay, let me see if I have anything else in my notes. Okay. So that is what we have for his T square. Now, Mercury, the Cazimi, is conjunct his Mars and Leo. So the Cazimi will be here. Remember, this planet moves here in his first house, is going to be on top of his ascendant and Mars. They're very close to each other in that first house. A lot of focus on the self. Me kind of attitude. Maybe he will be aware of some things, or be very confident, or be very assertive, become stronger than ever, very energetic, strong personal magnet. This is a positive one. People are going to be drawn to him. Focus on personal goals and ambitions. Okay. He could be overconfident. He already is. What else do we have? The Cazimi is going to be exact 26 degrees. And wait, the Cazimi is conjunct This Kazemi is going to be right on top of his Mars, that aggression. 26 degrees is a Taurus degree of finances. Let's see if his finances get affected with this cockiness, or if he gets more with the cockiness. Remember, the Leo, I looked it up at 27 degrees. When it's in the Sembian symbol, you go up. And remember, that's new beginnings and new hopes. With his self-image. Makes me think, is he releasing? I keep thinking he's going to get rid of JD Vance, but let's see. I keep thinking there's a new hope, a new day, sacrifice to, let go of the past. Yeah, I'm thinking, is he going to get rid of, this is the 14th. Let's see. Maybe he has an aha moment where he's like, you know what? I don't need JD Vance. I'm going to change my person. So let's see. Now, the Aquarius full moon is going to oppose his Mars and Leo. Here's his Mars. The Aquarius full moon is going to oppose his Mars in Leo, which is in that first house. So tension between his personal desire and collective needs. See, this is all what that thing that announcement is, right? Being detached emotionally too. What does the group want versus what I want? Heightened emotions and impulsive actions. Makes me think he's going to get rid of JD Vance. Okay. Challenges in balancing independence and social engagement, conflicts with leadership and group dynamics. Increase awareness and group dynamics too. Let me see what else. This full moon in Aquarius is going to be in here. Is going to square his MC, which is all about his public. Oops, sorry, I kicked you guys. So his career and his public image. With this Kazemi, which is also with this full moon, it's not going to be good for his career, or maybe his stability and security. What does that mean? High emotions challenging his image, illuminating negative impact on his career. See, it doesn't seem positive for him. Now, this full moon, where's the full moon? In his 7th house. The full moon is also, hold up, y'all. It's in his 7th house. The full moon in his 7th house means his open enemies, which also represents Kamala. The full moon in Aquarius represents Kamala. So she over here like la 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 la, and it's sitting over here. Well, it's really sitting over here, but you have this Pluto in Aquarius, which is about change and transformation. In Aquarius, which also is Kamala. Anyway, and I said in a video too, also Obama. So check out some previous videos. I have the political playlist somewhere on my YouTube channel. But yes, but his open enemy, which is Kamala, is sitting over here in the 7th house, okay, and is not working with his career. This Democratic Party week is not going to work for him. Okay, this full moon also is going to quick-cux his Saturn. Where's his Pisces? Is this a Pisces? No. Why can I see Pisces? Oh, the sun. I said the full moon. The sun in Leo is going to quincunx his Saturn. No, is it his Saturn? Oh, his Saturn in 12th house. So he has Saturn in the 12th house and Venus in the 12th house in a sign Cancer. And the full moon is going to make things very uncomfortable. Do you know what the 12th house represents? It represents ending. It represents the secret enemies. Emotions and climax of the secret support or secret limits or hidden enemies. Open enemies are the Democrats, where the full moon is, and somehow it is connected to his hidden enemies. Why is it connected to his hidden enemies, Daniel? I needed to look at his chart, making each other the open enemy together. Okay, what is in here again? Saturn. Saturn is in here. There's something here. Saturn is the ruler of Aquarius. Okay, it's the traditional ruler of Aquarius, and his Saturn is in the 12th house of hidden. I did a video on who shot him. You know, the Tupac song, Who Shot Me? I did a video on that. Look at that video. But his hidden enemies, I personally believe, is the Homeland Security. Yeah, and that also is dealing with the government and could also be representing Kamala if she becomes president. Yeah, so I have that in my notes. It's very interesting. But the Queen Cups is very uncomfortable. He doesn't feel secure. He feels insecure. That 12th house makes you very insecure. Emotional need for emotional adjustment and healing, conflict between personal relationships and social ideas. Him thinking about death and him thinking about who shot me and who was secretly trying to kill me is still lingering on top of his head, you know. And he ain't trying to party. He really isn't. Yeah, so doesn't look that good for him. For JD Vance, I have his chart. Do I have his chart? Yeah, I got someone who is like, whatever. The least most important person in this group, but whatever. We got his chart, so there's something. So let me pull up what we have now. Hold up. Let me flip flop it. Okay, so oops. Actually, no, let's do this. Okay, so now we have JD Vance, right? And his T square, where is his Jupiter in Gemini? Jupiter in Gemini is happening in his 10th house of career. Okay, now it's squaring Saturn in the 7th house, his open enemies, and it is also squaring Venus in his 1st house of support. Okay, so let's see what I broke down and how it's going to be broken. Venus in the 1st house is attraction, your self-expression, focus on personal needs, right? Saturn in that 7th house is challenges with relationships, challenges and fears with your open enemies, restrictions with your open enemies. That Jupiter and Mars in that 10th house is about his ambition and his career and being overworked. Okay, so when you have this T square, the Jupiter in the 10th house and Saturn in the 7th house creates significant tensions between the desire for career success and responsibilities of challenges of relationships. Okay. Relationships with partners. His partner is Donald Trump. Also, there is Neptune sitting in that 7th house of partnerships. Is there an ending? Yeah, I keep throwing that out there. I'm just let y'all keep looking at that, okay? Conflict between personal desires and external responsibilities, challenges in maintaining harmony in relationships. Y'all keeps coming up. Strain in relationships, conflicts between self-expression and partnership. Partnership. I don't find that to be a coincidence. So let's see what the stars have to, how that plays out. Now the Cazimi is happening in his 12th house of endings. Is Donald Trump going to say, this is the end of our relationship? I'm sorry. Okay. There is clarity. There is an aha moment. Focus on hidden aspects. Focus on the end of a relationship. Yeah. So he does have that Venus sitting there. And it's going to happen, the 27 degrees, I think, in Leo. Yeah, so sitting on top of that, so the moon and Pluto and Libra in the 2nd house. Why did I bring that up? Why am I bringing that up? Let me see. Okay, Cazimi in the 12th house is going to conjunct his Venus in Leo. And is sextiling the moon in Libra and his Pluto. This Cazimi. Okay, the moon and Pluto in the 11th in Libra in the 2nd house is a huge transformation in values. Okay, what he did value is changing, balancing emotional needs with financial stability. Introspection and healing in relationships. Again, the word relationship. Creative and spiritual inspiration. I don't know if that's happening for him, but I do think it's in balancing the hidden desires with practical needs. Empowerment through emotional insight. I just want to tell you it all just in case what I'm saying isn't right, but I think I'm right. Okay. Let me see what else. Any other challenges here? The conjunction will bring some challenges. The confidence and the cockiness on top of the support could not be bringing him support. Okay. This Cazimi is going to square his Mars in Scorpio. Hooey. Okay, him trying to achieve things and announcements too. Again, the announcement that their house is about speeches and announcements, and a person of power is giving the announcements. The Mars and Scorpio is about intense, driven communication, focus on verbal assertiveness, and then it's conjunct this IC. Look how close those two things are, which is about his roots or his home or America. Okay, and it's squaring this Kazemi. This huge announcement is squaring his drive regarding his home. Okay, I'm just gonna keep saying that. The full moon in Aquarius, he's actually got the worst one. He got it worse than Trump. So, in honor of the retrograde Mercury, I'm going to say JD Vance has it worse than Trump. Okay, so the full moon is in the sixth house. Full moon in the sixth house here in the sign Aquarius. Again, about his health, but mainly be when we're talking about Biden, we're talking about the health. When we're talking about JD Vance, I'm going to say it's about work, but in case we can expect the unexpected, we'll say health. But the focus on work, and there is an enlightenment regarding his career and work. Now, this is more career, but we'll say work, okay? Yeah. So, what do we have here? His sixth house, and it's opposing his Venus in Leo. Venus in Leo is support as a president. And now this full moon is highlighting this work of health and endings. Yeah, I just think they're going to say it's the end for you. We need another VP. That's just what I think. But okay, we'll just say some other stuff. Challenging and balancing practicality with emotional fulfillment, revelation of hidden feelings and desires of a leader. Health and emotional well-being could be an issue. Opportunities for healing and integration. Increased self-awareness can also happen with this, okay? Yes, and what else? We got one more with Mr. JD Vance. Now, the full moon in Aquarius, again, is in that sixth house. And remember, there's detachment with the Aquarius energy. It's not great in the moon, okay? It's very cold. It's not really about emotions, it's more about logic. And Mars is in his fourth house here. And what is it doing? The full moon in Aquarius is going to square his IC and his Mars. Did I not say that already? Maybe something else was squaring. But that is the focus of his home, aka his homeland. The Mars is in his third house, though. Why does it say fourth house? Oh, but it is his IC, which is about his home, okay? And the Mars is conjunct that, which is aggression, okay? But the Mars is about speeches and talking, could be about his community, could be about his siblings, could be happening, but the IC is about his home, which could represent America, okay? And the power of America and that Scorpio thing. Squaring, what's it squaring? The full moon in Aquarius is squaring that, squaring his home, squaring him trying to achieve things of power. Okay. So, yes, that is what we have. Let me pull a card. I'm going to pull a card for each one. Okay. We're going to first pull a card for Kamala. Okay. For Kamala with the Democratic Convention and with this week coming up, we have the death card. Now, the death card is not necessarily bad, you guys. Okay. It could be positive, but with Kamala this week in this Democratic Convention, there is a rebirth. We did talk about that. Let me see. I have some comments here. Sorry. I wonder if Kamala Harris information is going to come out from her father. Ooh, with the Saturn. Saturn could represent father. Sun could represent father. Let's see what else we have. It is wild how many people are voting for her. Many of my family members who are Republicans are voting for her. I'm the only one not sure who to vote for. Yes. Well, and let's see how the voting process even happens, because that's a whole doozy. That's a whole nother video. But we'll just focus on the Democratic Party this week. So but there is a rebirth, which we have with this Aquarius moon, and we have with this Kazemi. Big changes, time to move on, transformation, transitions, endings, letting go. This card is literally saying what I think the full moon or the Kazemi is saying. She is being reborn. So let's see what we have for Tim Watts. Is his name Tim Watts? Yeah, sometimes I just make up names. Yeah, it is. Tim Watts. Let's see what we have for him. Ooh, we have the Five of Pentacles. This guy's not being supported. They are not throwing money at him. What is he saying out in these streets? I don't pay attention to him, but it's financial loss. There is lack mindset. He's being negative. He is out there acting like doom and gloom, like he's on his own. Let's see how this week plays out with him. Are people not supporting him? Is he losing support? Is he thinking negative? Let's see. Let's see what Donald Trump has here. Oh, see, Donald Trump is no bueno too. He's over here, and this is the Five of Cups. He's focused on what he's lost and not what he has. He could be very still sad about him getting shot. But this is regret. This is failure. Ooh, regret. Regretting the choice of his VP. Y'all, why he's looking at these Five of Cups like, y'all, like, I don't like what I lost, and he's not looking at what he has. So, I want what they got over there. I'm just saying there's disappointment. He's being pessimistic. There's sadness. Let's see what happens. Okay. And then next we have Donald Trump. Oh, JD Vance. Let's see what we have for JD Vance. Just the real tea. Let's see. I'm going to mix these cards up real good. Real good. Okay. We want to really be sure. Come on, JD Vance. I should ask two questions. Is he going to replace JD Vance? This is a message. Okay. This is a Page of Cups. A message is coming regarding his relationship, because the Page of Cups represents relationships. Okay, but let's see the overall week for JD Vance. But there is a relationship. Oh, it's a sign. Sun is very positive and successful. It is positive. There is positivity, ultimate happiness. Maybe it also represents the truth. Yeah, I just want to see what I want to see, but I'll tell you everything. The Sun is very positive. It's about being on stage. It's about the Leo. It's about being confident. It's about producing some hard work. At the same time, it's about the truth, highlighting the truth. And where is the Sun? That Kazemi was doing a whole lot of messiness with the Sun. Okay. Let me pull a collective reading for you guys. I think I'm going to have to do the horoscopes tomorrow. I'm so sorry, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do tarot horoscopes for you guys. For the collective, we have the Moon card. The Moon card is representing our fears. The Moon card represents what's hidden. Okay. The Moon card represents high emotions, our subconscious, our dreams. So this week, there's some things that are unknown or unseen. Okay. Also, we're feeling like we're lacking, and we're feeling insecure about things. The Moon also could represent some secrets. So be aware of the secrets and deceptions and the lies. Okay. You want to use your intuition. Actually, use your intuition, but I'm going to pull a card and see what we can use. Ooh, you need to gather. You need to not gather. This is someone who already gathered the information. So when you're dealing with some fears and some secrets, you want to move. You want to expand. Okay. You want to grow. You want, expansion, confidence, new horizons. Okay. So in order to conquer the fear, move. In order to be aware of the secret, progress. Okay. That is what we have for a collective. Now, let me pull the cards. I'm going to pull the cards for the horoscope. I am going to do the horoscopes tomorrow, and I'll do it live. It will be up here. Yes. Okay. Because I am tired. How long have I been on here? 2 hours. 2 hours too long. Okay, so let's do the horoscopes for everyone. Remember to check everything. I'm going to go over the squares, the Kazemi, and the full moon. Okay, it will be bright and early tomorrow. Okay, for Aries, we have the Strength card. You guys need to be bold. You need to practice some compassion, have some self-love, be respectful, have unconditional love this week. Use your inner strength. Okay, also be creative. Okay. Work on your brand. For Taurus, this week we have the Sun card for you. It's very positive for you, Taurus. And Taurus, you want to be positive. You want to shine bright like the sun, like God created the sun. I'm very optimistic, very confident, a do-getter. Maybe hang out with your father this week too. Okay. Very male energy, very masculine energy, very go outside energy. Okay. Geminis, we have the Wheel of Fortune, and also this other card. Gemini, lucky you got two. We got the King of Swords. Okay. Actually, let me show you. King of Swords. So when you have the Wheel of Fortunes, there's a lot of movement going on. Life is full of ups and downs. Also very good luck, but it's about the life cycles. It's about your karma, your destiny. Maybe there's a turning point and the universe is in control. You have no control. You're just on a spinning cycle. It could represent changes. You can represent unexpected events. Now there's unexpected events when it comes to your mental, when it comes to your logic, when it comes to words. Very Mercury retrograde is going to be affecting you, which makes sense. Gemini, Mercury rules that. But maybe some unexpected truth happening, some unexpected authority with words, intellectual power, very disciplined energy, integrity, very strict and honest. Yeah, and there's some ups and downs with that. Okay, so that is what we have for my Geminis. I will see you next time. Cancers, for you guys, we have the Judgment card. Very Pluto transformation energy for you guys this week. Judgmental. Like, okay, come on, what are you guys going to do? Come in, the judgment is here. Okay, final decision. Okay, very Pluto energy is very transformative, being very deep. There's some healing. Maybe there's some issues with psychology here. Wake up call, inner calling. What is your true life purpose this week? There's an awakening, a reckoning happening for you guys this week. I like it. It's very positive. I like deep energy. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, Leos, it's time for you guys to rest, chill, especially when it comes to your words. We have the Four of Swords. So rest, relaxation, meditation, renewal, solitude. Shut your mouth. Mercury in retrograde in the sign Leo. Leos, stop speaking. Write it down. Focus on peace. Okay, that is what we have for you guys. See you next time. Okay, Virgos, we have the Hierophant. Hierophant is very like stays in the tradition. Okay, very fixed energy. Also the teacher, the spiritual leader, the belief systems are probably going to be a thing for you guys. Spiritual wisdom, are you focused on your religious beliefs? Are you focused on traditions, conventions, conformity, education, higher knowledge? It's very Taurus energy too. So Taurus is all about you guys are Virgos, but Taurus is all about the earth, intangible resources and what you value. Are you guys being lazy? Are you chilling and just like eating the great food? Maybe you should do that this week, because it's not negative, but really just take care of yourself. A lot of self-care and being very fixed and stubborn. So like not stubborn in a bad way, but like I'm not budging. I'm going to stick to my core beliefs is what I'm trying to say. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, Libras, let's see what we have for you. You guys, there's going to be some big sudden upheaval for you guys. Okay, sudden change, maybe cause some chaos. Maybe it's a revelation. Maybe there's an awakening. When I pull this card, it means that you need to release and let go, release and let God. Don't hold on tight. Just let it go. Okay. There is a change happening for you. You don't like to change, but guess what? It's in God's hand and it's what the universe wants for you. Also, when you have this release, you want to bear it all. Okay, whatever this upheaval is, bear it all. There could be some trauma, some disaster, destruction of old foundation. The foundation you were depending on is a faulty foundation. It is not real. What is a real foundation? Your intuition, your spirituality, what your gut says, your creativity, your logic, being practical, being what else? There's so many real foundations: love, relationships, relationship with self, relationship with God. There's so many foundations you have that you can depend on versus the falsity of foundations. Okay, and that is what this week is going to show you. All right, I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, all my Scorpios. Ooh, we have the Chariot. Sometimes I'm staring at the card like, ooh, it's pretty. The Chariot is about moving forward, and there's two decisions that you have to make, but you want to go off of your intuition. It's very Cancer. It's very empathetic. It's very nurturing. Very mother. Maybe you have a motherly thing you have to do this week, or you have to be very nurturing. There's a lot of willpower for you this week. A lot of action, success, movement of moving forward, a sense of control. Especially security, finances are what you want to be seem stable. There's determination for that. Maybe you're a homebody this week. Yeah, two opposing forces working together for one goal. I like that. Okay, that could be happening for you guys this week. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Oh, also, Scorpios, the full moon will be affecting you this week because Cancer is ruled by the moon. All right, so be aware of that, and yeah, just be heightenedly emotionally aware. All right, bye. Okay, Sagittarius. Oh, you guys need to stand your ground. Okay, you need to persevere this week. Resilient, testing your faith. Is your faith being tested? This is the final push. The final push. This is a 9, and then the 10 will be like, this is over. Okay, so you got to stay strong. Usually there's a person with a bandage and they're holding a rod like this is it. Even if you're wounded, you want to stay strong. You could be the last man standing. That could be happening this week. Close to success. You could be feeling fatigue, but you have to be aware that this is the end of the journey, the beginning of the end of the journey. All right, I will see you guys next time. Bye. Capricorns. Ooh, there's a breakthrough here. We have the Ace of Swords. This Mercury in retrograde Kazemi is going to be really positive for you. There's some truth happenings. There's some clarity. There's new insights, new ideas, new vision. You're going to be focused. Mental clarity and success when it comes to words. Okay. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, Aquarius. For you guys, we have the Emperor. The Emperor for you this week with this full moon in Aquarius and this Kazemi. This is all about setting some boundaries and being strong and being a father figure and being strict. Emperor is the Aries. It's like, I'm going to be the leader. Okay, very boss, starting energy, innovative. There's respect. There's leadership for you. A father figure kind of energy. Maybe a father figure is coming in for you this week. Very divine, masculine energy. Okay, very boss energy. Authority, stability, control, discipline, and focus. Okay. Starting something new. If I didn't say that, I will see you guys next time. Bye. Pisces, this is it for you. Oh, we have the Hangman. This is so you. First of all, this is a why did I just draw a blank? This is a major arcana. So this is a big week for you guys, okay, with this full moon. The Hierophant makes me think of you guys because this is Neptune, and Neptune is Pisces energy, okay? So this is someone who's going to seek solitude. Someone who's going to change the perspective and look at things in a different way. Someone who's going to go in and really communicate with the emotions and what they feel and their intuition. There's a pause. There's also a sacrificing. You may be sacrificing yourself for something. There's a releasing with that full moon. Okay. Waiting, also a pausing, changing your perspective, having new perspectives. Wisdom, self-sacrifice energy, uncertainty, because there could be some confusions with Neptune and some illusions. So be aware of that. Anytime you are confused, you want to go in and use your intuition. Okay. Maybe do a tarot reading. I'm sure you guys own tarot cards. If you don't, pray to God. Okay. Write it down and then clarity will come to you. But also this is contemplation. Okay. That is what I have for all my horoscopes. I hope you guys enjoyed. Did you guys like those horoscopes? I will do the astrological horoscopes tomorrow. Okay. I will see you guys next time. Thank you for watching. Bye.